And while he may not have been the best known, there's no doubt he was one of the most influential. Thompson studied at Washburn College in his home city of Topeka. From early on, he was inspired by print designs, especially magazines, and used this influence to design the college's yearbooks. After graduating from Washburn, Thompson worked for 5 years at Capper Publications, a local printing company. This first job as a print shop junior wouldn't have been glamorous, but it gave Thompson a broad knowledge of design and printing techniques which he would use throughout his long career. Kansas in the 1930s was well known for its severe dust storms, but not as a creative center. So in 1938, Thompson traveled the 1200 miles east to New York City. Incredibly, for a young man fresh off the road from Kansas, one of his first projects was designing the 1939 World's Fair catalog. Thompson worked for Rogers Kellogg's Tilson, the printing firm responsible for that World's Fair, and was assigned to work with Westvaco Inspirations for printers. This series of promotional booklets were published by Westvaco Corporation to showcase its line of printing papers. Each issue consists of just 16 pages, but gave Thompson a rare opportunity for experimentation provided a receptive design. Westvaco had published Inspirations since the 1920s and was already widely circulated to an audience of 35,000 agencies, museums, printers, schools, and universities. Thompson was given no budget to commission original artwork or photographs for the publication, but instead of letting this limit his ideas, he used it as an opportunity to be creative. Inspirations gave Thompson the freedom to experiment with ideas and techniques and to explore creative concepts. He became one of the best scroungers in my profession by borrowing printed plates and separations from agencies, magazines, and even museums to incorporate into his work. These borrowed elements included historical photographs and illustrations, which Thompson combined with contemporary typography and modern process colors. For Victory, a spread for Inspirations in 1953, Thompson incorporated arrow illustrations and integrated them into targets made from solid colors. He borrowed elements from folk and primitive art, turning them into original works which blended modern with traditional. Working on Inspirations stimulated Thompson's creativity, and he went on to design over 60 editions. During World War II, Thompson designed the final few issues of two wartime magazines, Victory and USA, which were published by the Office of War Information. Then in 1945, he became art director of Mademoiselle magazine and stayed in the role for the next 15 years. The eclectic tendencies Thompson had developed working on Inspirations continued at Mademoiselle, and now with a budget to work with, he commissioned up-and-coming artists Andy Warhol, Joan Miro, William de Kooning, and my personal favorite pop artist Jasper Johns to illustrate for its fiction section. Thompson's magazine's work didn't begin or end with Mademoiselle, and throughout his career he worked on over 30 more, including Business Weeks, the Harvard Business Review, and Smithsonian Magazine. Bradbury Thompson may not be among the most famous graphic designers, but he was widely recognized in his industry, receiving all 3 major design awards and more. His awards included the National Society of Art Directors of the Year Award in 1950 and the AIGA Medal in 1975. In 1977, Thompson was inducted into Art Directors Club Hall of Fame, and during the 1980s he won first the Frederick W. Gowdy Award and then the Type Directors Club Medal. From his earliest experiences working in Topeka, Thompson was a details-oriented designer who paid attention to the finest details in his typography and to the precise cropping and placement of his images. His clever use of often simple palettes of processed colors along with black and white historical illustrations and the geometric forms made his work at the same time classic and contemporary. Like architecture, typography is a blend of beauty with functional utility, and Thompson's designs often combined unusual typographic arrangements with colorful shapes. For Rain, 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 a spread for Mademoiselle magazine in 1958, he reproduced the same raincoat wearing figure carrying an umbrella as 5 colored silhouettes. In Futural, a spread for Westvaco inspirations for printers in 1962, Thompson mirrored the simplified shapes of aeroplanes across pages using line work on the verso and solid colors on the recto. He regularly overprinted his colorful shapes to add depth and interest to his designs. Using his experience of printing technologies, Thompson's signature design often used just 4 processed colors. In offset printing, processed colors are comprised of percentages of cyan, magenta, yellow, and key inks. This process of 4-color printing is capable of producing a wide range of colors. Thompson's best-known designs often use these colors in their purest form. He frequently separated the colors and printed them in different areas in his compositions. We use the RGB model when we design for screens, but separating those 3 colors in the way Thompson separated component CMYK colors can create inspiring designs for the web. Thompson taught graphic design at Yale University's School of Art from 1956 until his death in Connecticut in 1995.
Robert Charles Gill was an American illustrator and a graphic designer who lived from January 17, 1931 to November 9, 2021. To pay for his schooling, Gill performed the piano at summer resorts in the New York Catskills Mountain. After graduating, he worked as a freelancer graphic designer in New York City. In a number of movies, including some of the Raw Hudson, Gill served as a film title designer. His calling was graphic design, and along with his colleagues like George Lewis, the illustrious Esquire art director who once hid an image of Andy Warhol inside a can of soup for his magazine's cover, Mr. Gill was a key figure in a revolution that took place in his field. He was abandoned that excitement design was about carrying a message, not imposing a trendy look. Fletcher Forbes Gill's design studio, the progenitor of Pentagram, was founded in 1962 by Clune